Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another episode of B is for Build. In today's episode, Eric and I are going to be welding up our chassis, doing all sorts of great stuff around that area, and I've got a little surprise just starting right off the gate right now. Going to get something cool for the 370Z. Stay tuned. Alright, I'm on my way down to FedEx to pick up a couple wheels from our boys over at Koenig. They hooked us up with some new wheels for the 370Z. I cannot wait to see them. So let's head down there right now and see if we can get them in the truck, get them over to the shop. Portland traffic is not great, but it's better than not living in Portland. Huge thanks goes out to Koenig, as always, for hooking us up huge with the wheels for the 370Z. We'll unbox these as soon as we get back to the shop. But guys, if you're looking for a great, affordable set of wheels, lightweight, great performance, all the good stuff you want on a wheel, check it out. I'll put a link in the description, koenigwheels.com. Supposed to meet Eric at the shop 5 minutes ago, but hopefully he got stuck in the same traffic I did, so he won't be there too much before me. All right, I did not beat Eric to the shop, but we are here and we're getting started either way. First thing we're gonna need to do is raise the body up off of the chassis, because the main thing that we're gonna be doing today is Eric's gonna be fully welding up the chassis while I look at the rear suspension. All right, we got the body off the car. It's just gently resting over there, and Eric and I are gonna do some double duty. So I left a little bit of extra stuff hanging on here, and that needs to all be trimmed off. So Eric's gonna start by welding up the backside and all the sides and the things that don't need to be modified on that side, while I'm over here cleaning up this, and then we'll switch sides and do the same on the other side. All right, Eric busted out a couple quick welds, and I prepped up that strut tower over there. And then Eric asked, why don't we have a MIG welder? And why are we doing TIG on all of this stuff? Because a lot of the stuff isn't gonna be seen, like the nitty gritty down there and the underside of the chassis. And I thought that was a good point. I also thought if we got a MIG welder, he could teach me how to use it, and I could probably bust out some decent welds. So we've decided it's time to go buy a MIG welder. Doggo! Big, little, littler, different thing. Middle? Only $64, what a deal. Strikeout, that store was sold out of them. That's how good they are. We only buy the top quality, cheapest stuff in the entire state. So we gotta go to the next store down the next city over. We'll try and find one there. Boys, this fastback, I want it. Oh, it looks so good. All right, weird new store. Let's hope we have better luck. Yes, open it up. No idea if this is okay. No one to tell us it isn't. Did not think about how to fit the welder in the truck with the wheels in the back. I don't know if it's because I went in there with the camera or because the guy knew me from the show, but we got treated real nice. Saved a good deal of money, but welders are still expensive. Back in the shop, and this episode is going to take a turn towards a review. So we're still going to do all the work that we had planned on doing on the car, but we're going to include a review of this Vulcan Migmax 215. On this channel, I've always been a fan of trying to do things on the cheap and figuring out if we can stay on a low budget for these different things, because I want to show you guys what can be done without spending a ton of money. I don't want you to feel like you're blocked because you don't have thousands and thousands of dollars to equip a shop full of tools. That's why my shop is only equipped with just a couple hundred, just the bare minimum. So this is a cheap, Eric, you'd say this is a cheap MIG welder, right? Yeah, this is a very cheap, kind of lower on the line, gas shielded MIG welder. And we're gonna go ahead and review this to tell you, and now I really wanna do this also because we have Eric here. He's a professional welder, so he'll have a great professional review and opinion on this welder so you can know if it's a cheap option or if it's definitely not worth your money. So let's unbox it. right, we are unboxed. So Eric is going to be running some solid steel MIG wire through that. We're not doing flux core with this because we have our gas. So far, first impressions, everything looks good. Looks like it looked on the shelf. Regulator, it looks like it's good quality. And we're going to be go ahead and use the 240 outlet for this. So we're going to be on 240 power for this test. And we're pretty close to getting it plugged in and test it out. Got the welder set up. You're gonna have to excuse it. It has to be on this side of the room for now until I get an extension cord for our 240 over there. Got the gas over there. We're gonna get dialed in a second. There is a dry feed button over there so you don't have to waste your gas as you're kind of feeding the wire through, which Eric is doing right now. And then we'll be ready to weld. We're also gonna be testing out their MIG gloves as well while we do this because they were really cheap. We wanna see if they're worth it. I would assume it probably goes without saying, but this is all completely unsponsored, unscripted. This is gonna be our legitimate opinion for it, because I just paid hard-earned American dollars for that welder. All right, we're ready to roll. Welder's set up, gas is on, power's on. Eric has tacked this up real quick, and now he's gonna run some beads as our first test run, our comprehensive review of the Vulcan Migmax 215. Get ready, guys. If we were doing a review of the back of your head, we would have killed it.
That's actually pretty nice. Like that right there is like almost perfect.
That looks really good. Can you tap it so I can see the other side? That looks really good as well. So Eric, professional opinion of this welder?
It's definitely pretty smooth. Definitely better than I expected for being kind of the more entry level that somebody would be going out to buy.
It looks a lot better than my TIG welding. Are we getting good penetration and everything?
Yeah, it was getting pretty hot on the backside. So you can definitely, I was running a little too hot right here, and you can definitely see the evidence of penetration on the backside. And even right here where I toned it down a little bit, you can see where it was kind of starting to melt through a little bit. So I don't think penetration would be any issue at all.
How are the gloves?
I haven't used them a whole lot, but so far they're not
We're too little
through. So.
All right, we'll do more of a glove review after we weld up the whole rest of the car, but this is pretty awesome. It seems like we've got ourselves a good MIG welder in the shop now for a affordable price. I don't know if I'm good at reviewing things, but okay. Hey, now I want to try and it's my turn. I'm gonna give it a shot. Dude, no way. Not, I mean, minus the part where I slipped, I got okay at the end there.
Yeah.
That's not hard to control at all.
That's what a good welder does.
Nice. So there's my weld. First time ever really using a proper gas shielded MIG welder. I slipped, I totally slipped right there, but then I was getting a hang of it right there. So you can definitely, an amateur, a complete novice can definitely grab a hang of one of these things and make something that doesn't look like complete butt cheeks. I mean complete garbage. I don't know. I've watched too many streamers. All right, so obviously we need to put a little bit more time into the welder and keep using it, and that's what we're gonna do right now. So Eric's gonna continue where he left off with the strut towers to start welding things up, and then we got some decisions to make on the cosmetic parts of it that we'll get into later, but first Eric's gonna kind of weld the rest of this stuff up. So Eric just finished up with the passenger side, welded the insides and the outsides. This looks really, really good. Eric, you said basically you're really surprised with how good the welder's doing, which is fantastic news. Yeah, and everything looks legit. I really hope I can do that stuff. So Eric just finished up on that side. Now he's gonna come over to this side and bust out this side as well. And then we're gonna do some of the more cosmetic welding stuff on the outside of here. Eric just wrapped up welding on this other side too, so same goes with everything, all the welds on the inside. He's leaving the welds on the outside of this stuff for me to do. So there's some stuff on the bottom of both of this section and that section over there, which means the next thing that we need to do is drop the subframe out on both sides, and then we're gonna flip the frame over. One good thing Eric pointed out is the duty cycle is going really well on this welder. He welded straight for 30 minutes at a pretty high heat to go into that metal, and it never needed a break, right? Didn't overheat?
No, not yet.
Yeah, so that's apparently a thing with welders, and that means it's good that that one didn't have to do it. All right, we're gonna pull this thing off. Hey, we got the frame flipped upside down, so now we can do work on our front mounts and our rear mounts. The frame, good news is the frame still does not weigh much at all. Eric and I can very easily lift it. I'd probably say between 100 and 150 pounds. Not even that. I'm a bad judge at weight, guys. I always overestimate. So now Eric is gonna go ahead and weld up the rest of these round discs and our end caps and all the other stuff that needs to be caught from the bottom side. The bottom side has been welded up nicely, so you can see Eric finished welding around the circles and then all the sides of these guys and then the back side of this. It looks very, very good. I am so excited about this new welder. So now that that's all done, we need to work our way over here to the front, and we got the front mounts. We're gonna go ahead and take the cutoff wheel, trim this up real nice, and then Eric's gonna lay a line on the inside of both of those, and then I'm gonna do the one on the outside. We actually had a small change of heart. We decided it's gonna look best if we do not cut, because we don't wanna gouge up the side of this. This is a part that's gonna be very visible, the inside part. The outside part isn't. It's gonna be on the bottom, which means it's my turn to try out this welder, and I'm gonna try and run some lines on both of these sides and make them look pretty. Alright, so my first time using a proper MIG welder, and you can see it came out definitely alright. It's definitely acceptable. I'm very, very happy with this machine overall. Eric says it's good, and it's gonna allow me to make welds that don't look terrible. The other side, I had a small section that got away from me, but yeah. Overall, it looks pretty good. It's definitely good, and it's getting full penetration. Everything else is really good. And thanks, Tony, for dropping me off some cupcakes by the shop. That was very, very kind of you. We're almost done the night, so then I'll get to just chow down on all of those. Now, we decided we want to do the other two welds with the frame flipped over, so it's time to flip it back over and start welding. Yay for pretty welds. I'm so happy with this welder. It's gonna give me the ability to make decent welds, and Eric's absolutely killing it with it, and everything goes so fast. So that's the front subframe mounts completely done. We can bolt up the front subframe like 100% into the car. That's where it goes. Same goes with the rear subframe, except we have some capping to do and some gussets to do later on. Once we tie in the roll cage and everything else like that, that's when we'll do our reinforcing job. But for the most part, the mounts are 100% welded in, and obviously our strut towers are welded in. So happy we got it all done in one night. That's so awesome. Next thing, Eric's gonna help me get the car back mounted to the ceiling, because that's where I need it, and there's no way I'll be able to do it by myself tomorrow. That was a bit tumultuous, but we got it up there, and it's safe and sound. All's well that ends well. Now, tomorrow, I can go ahead and start rotating everything in the shop and getting it back to the standard way that we're used to seeing it. All right, guys, that's a wrap on tonight. I will not see you guys tomorrow, because tomorrow's the weekend. You guys know I take the weekends off, but we will actually be here filming some stuff with Chelsea's M5 that is gonna air at a later date. So look forward to that. Today was really fun for me because I love kind of like myth busting or rumor busting the quality of some of these parts. I wish I could do it more often, but it just doesn't really fit into what we do. But I really, really wanted a gas shielded MIG welder that was good and good quality. And we found one at a bargain. So now you guys know that is a bargain to be had. And this thing kicked ass all day long. And it got a really good recommendation from Eric. And him being a professional welder, I don't know what more you'd want to say about that. So that was pretty cool. And that's it, guys. Thanks again for watching. If you like BS4Build, you want to help out and support, head over to bs4build.com, scroll down to the shop, picking up anything at the shop. All the proceeds go directly towards this build. And the reason that there isn't new merch at the shop, 100% Chelsea's fault. It's not my fault. It's not because I haven't designed anything. It's because Chelsea does not know the telephone number to China. It's not a 1-800 number. But we'll have some stuff coming soon. And if you want to find us at more places, we're BS4Build on Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Find us on your favorite social media outlet. We will be on there. Thanks again, guys, and I will see you soon. Peace!
Come on!